Merry Christmas, everyone. Today I'm going to analyze some footage that was filmed by J. Tolan Media 1 on December 15th on a flight from Chicago to Las Vegas. A link to Jay's video will be in the description. Before I start, I want to quickly thank Shadow Reveal, who is an architect, for helping me analyze some of the locations I'll be discussing, and also for providing the AutoCAD diagram that will be used later in the video. J. Tolan's footage was awesome, and I'm very grateful for his work, but I hope to provide some of the details and identification of the landmarks that the video lacked. For this video, I'm going to stick with just a 2-minute section of Jay's video that begins at 7:22 and ends at 9:25 in the original video. This footage unquestioningly destroys the globe. My first step was figuring out where exactly J. Tolan Media filmed from. Fortunately, Jay did give us his flight details, and I was able to use that information to pinpoint the location of the observation. Here was the flight route over the state of Utah. It's important to note that the altitude of the airplane was 28,000 feet. Here is the rough location of the airplane when Jay began filming the 2-minute video segment we were going to analyze. I plotted that same flight route directly into Google Earth. From there, I was able to identify the exact location of the observation because of the unique tree-like erosion pattern in southern Utah. You can see that I am very close. Here are the coordinates I used for the primary observation beginning at 7:22. I also found some of the other observation locations he was at in case any of you would like to do some further analysis. Here was the location at his 2:05 mark. Here he was at 3:47. And here he was at 9:27. But again, we're just going to stick to the 2-minute observation beginning at 7:22. Here is the opening frame of the 2-minute video segment. Compare that again with Google Earth, and you can see the location is correct. Watching Jay's footage right from the beginning, you can see the Earth is flat. There is no evidence of curvature whatsoever, which makes actual distant peak and landmark identification very difficult on Google Earth because Google Earth built their software to match the globe. Compare Jay's actual footage with what the Earth would look like if we lived on a globe. I inputted the correct altitude of 8,534 meters into Google Earth for this computer-generated flight. You can see the curvature is obvious and that the same curvature should be manifest on every flight. But when you look at Jay's video, you can see there is no curvature. It's not even close to matching the Google Earth globe. But let's get to the indisputable evidence of our flat Earth. We're going to stop the video here and point out 3 landmarks. On the left is Otter Creek Reservoir at 70 miles. In the middle is Mount Nebo at a distance of 179 miles. And on the right is Wide Hollow Reservoir at 40 miles. On Google Earth, on the same simulated flight path, you can see Otter Creek Reservoir to the upper left and Wide Hollow Reservoir on the right. But you can only see the very top of Mount Nebo right behind the supposed curvature. You have to continue watching the flight on Google Earth for a while before you get to see all of Mount Nebo. But let's get back to Jay's video. Now that prominent peak toward the upper right is Mount Nebo, which has an elevation of nearly 12,000 feet. But this is what I found very interesting. Right there to the left of Mount Nebo is Utah Lake at a distance of about 200 miles. Here's a screenshot from Google Earth for comparison. That definitely is Utah Lake. The question is whether Utah Lake should have been visible if we lived on a globe. Now, when calculating the distance of the globe geometric horizon, most people would mistakenly put 28,000 feet as the observation height and stop there. But in this case, we have to first subtract the elevation of Utah Lake, since the airplane is not looking across an ocean or a large body of water. The elevation of Utah Lake is 4,489 feet. That puts us at an observation height of 23,511 feet. That means that the globe geometric horizon would have to be closer than 188 miles. Because Utah Lake at 200 miles is further than 188 miles, none of the lake should be visible. This is a 200-mile black swan. Some may try to dispute the calculations here, and that's why I asked Shadow Reveal to prepare an AutoCAD drawing demonstrating this fact. And I'm very glad he did, because we discovered something even more damning for the globe. The line of sight from the airplane at 28,000 feet is the yellow line. As stated before, Utah Lake should have been entirely hidden by the Earth's curvature, assuming no topography besides the elevation of Utah Lake at 4,489 feet. Now, as proven by AutoCAD, the globe curvature should have been blocking Utah Lake at 187 miles, which is very close to the 188 miles we already determined. But that's just the beginning. This is the Google Earth elevation profile from the observation point all the way to Utah Lake at a distance of about 200 miles. According to AutoCAD, which is premier architecture and engineering software, the mountains at about 9,000 feet, which were 94 miles away from the airplane that were located right here at the red arrow just west of Fish Lake, should have blocked Utah Lake entirely, to the point that Utah Lake should have been roughly 7,500 feet below line of sight if we lived on a globe. Here is another view on Google Earth of the area next to Fish Lake that would be blocking Utah Lake if the globe were real. Can you see that the Earth would look drastically different than this if we lived on a globe? It's not even close. It's unbelievable to me that they've gotten away with hiding our flat Earth reality for so long. Already, the globe model is clearly debunked. But let's keep going. As Jay pans the camera to the left, notice these mountains here. They're a little harder to pinpoint, but that is Flat Top Mountain and Low Peak. But what is this dark area behind those mountains? That is very likely the Great Salt Lake, because that's exactly where it should be, and it has the same dark appearance as Utah Lake. That is at least 250 miles away based on that angle. Here's a screenshot from Google Earth showing what I'm talking about. But looking at the footage, you can again see there's no indication of any globe horizon that's blocking anything. It just gets hazier over the vast distance, and thick haze is very typical along the Wasatch Front. And haze and distance are not curvature, despite the false proclamations of the globe propagandists. In short, Jay's infrared footage of Utah Lake and also of the Great Salt Lake, which is supported by engineering software, truly ends the globe model, as even the closer Utah Lake should have been thousands of feet below line of sight. Furthermore, there is simply no sign of any Earth curvature as required by the globe. Why are there so many flat earthers? Because flat Earth is a demonstrable fact. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year on God's flat Earth. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to quickly correct an understatement that I made in my last video. I said that Utah Lake, as shown here, would have to be 7,500 feet below line of sight of the airplane if we lived on a globe. Despite it being Christmas Eve, Shadow Reveal was kindly able to provide an AutoCAD diagram indicating the correct amount. According to AutoCAD, Utah Lake should have been hidden a whopping 17,060 feet below line of sight if we lived on a globe. That was just shocking to me, and I wanted everyone to see it. Goodbye, globe. Anyways, Merry Christmas again.